Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going to be going over ADA Cardano, as one of my favorite and key indicators is letting us know that a big move is right around the corner. Now, in the last video, it was going to be about 3 days ago, as I did have to go out of town this weekend. We talked about these two key levels, $2.37 and $2.12. Based off of the VPVR, we knew that these were going to serve as very significant, and that if we saw a breakout to either direction, to definitely expect a big move. Well, since that video, you can see that we've ranged right between them. We touched this level and we touched the top, but we have been unable to clear either one. And so since we have not done that, we can start looking at this from the short term again, now that I am back. Now, one thing that I'm paying close attention to right now is going to be the fact that we are getting set to make a big move based off of our Bollinger Bands and our Bollinger Band width. Now, before we talk about which direction I think it may go in and everything, a lot of people are saying, Cardano's not doing anything, it's not moving, it sucks, it's over, all hype, no substance, and all that good stuff. And I want to talk about this real quick. I want you to pay attention to the fact that just within the last, I would say about week and a half, Cardano has cleared two absolutely key and important resistance levels with pretty much ease, okay? So of course, coming off of the September 2nd high that we set, an all-time high. Now remember, when we set these all-time highs and we start these trend lines, these are very powerful resistance levels coming off of that all-time high, okay? Now we can see that from this all-time high to these local highs, we set this very strong level of resistance in which we were able to smash through. We smashed through it, we came back down, confirmed it as support, and then continued back upwards off of this trend line, the support line that we've been setting all the way since back in July. Now from there, coming out of that massive resistance, we set a secondary layer of resistance in the symmetrical triangle, in which we were also able to smash through with two big 4-hour candles, and then are looking to come back down to establish support again on our 2-month support line before looking to hopefully see upward continuation. And so realistically, when people are saying, it's not moving, it's not doing anything, I'm like, it just cleared two of the most important key levels of resistance and is establishing some of the utmost important support that it can do before we could be looking at a possible move to the upside. These things don't just explode up with no backing, no support, no foundation. No, they need to break through these lines, allow that buying pressure to slow down, chill out, allow that RSI to relax, get down to the support level, find that foundation and support to establish these new highs, as we are seeing, before seeing that big move to the upside as people get more confident. I mean, that's how these things go. Okay, so is that me saying that it is 100% going to just shoot up? No, but am I saying that it's making some absolutely fantastic moves right now? Yes. Okay, and so now let's kind of talk a little bit about what I'm expecting to see coming forward, and where I think that this thing may go, as I do believe we are approaching a very key level on my favorite indicator that tells me when breakouts are coming. So what we're looking at is going to be the Bollinger Bands and the Bollinger Band width. Now, just to keep it as simple as I possibly can, let's clear this off. What we're going to be looking at is, again, the Bollinger Bands. What these tell us is the measurements of volatility based off of the price action. Whenever the price is more volatile and it's going all over the place, and we're seeing bright breakouts everywhere, the bands are going to widen up. Okay, so the more distance there is between the two, the more volatility that there is. And so you can see that, let's get rid of this first and foremost. You can see right here, when we started to see these big moves to the upside, the bands widened. Okay. Now, whenever we are in moments like we are now, the bands are starting to squeeze and condense and get close to each other, meaning that the standard deviations away from this 20-week moving average are getting much smaller. So realistically, there's a high chance that once we get to a certain level of compaction, that coil-up effect happens, and we see an explosive move to the upside or the downside. Now, mind you, this strategy and this indicator does not tell us where it's going to go, but it can tell us very, very clearly when we can expect a breakout to happen. Because over the last few weeks, we've been looking at some of these more environmental and, economical catalysts that could have moved the price. But this is a technical catalyst that I think almost always puts a good little time range on when we can see that breakout. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our Bollinger Band width. So again, these are the Bollinger Bands, and this is the Bollinger Band width right down here. Okay. And what we can do is, if we just kind of pay attention to this thing, what you can see is that there are these spikes. Now, these spikes represent times that the Bollinger Bands widen. So the higher this goes, the more separated the Bollinger Bands are, the top from the bottom, the more separated they are from each other. Whenever the Bollinger Band width starts to come down, it means that the Bollinger Bands are condensing. They're getting closer to each other, and their width is decreasing. As their width decreases, this line decreases. But what we can do is if we just draw a line at 0.10, let's go ahead, or 0.11, let's go ahead and draw a horizontal line. We can see that typically speaking, this is our key level of support. Once we start to come down to touch 0.11 on the Bollinger Band width, there's almost always a big move to the upside pretty soon thereafter, as we can see here, as we can see here, and here, and here, and almost every single time. It is unlikely and uncommon that we sit on this 0.11 line on the Bollinger Band width for more than a week or so without seeing any type of significant move to the upside or the downside. If we do just kind of look at a few examples of the last times it was here, we can see here. Boom. So the last time that we saw 0.11 was right here. At this moment, we were condensing and we were moving, and then boom, we saw a big 16% fall to the downside. The time before that, we were right here. We can see that things kind of got consolidated. They weren't moving a lot. And then boom, there was an explosion to the upside. And so you can see that this is a good indicator to tell us when we may be looking at a big move. And at the moment, we are approaching that line. We are approaching this key level. My guess here is that since we have now come back to establish support on top of some of these key levels that we've been talking about. Let's go here. Since we've come back to establish support on top of, again, whenever we saw this breakout to the upside, we established support here. Whenever we saw the breakout to the top side again, we're coming back down to establish support here. Is that my guess is that this support is going to hold, and when Bitcoin moves, ADA is going to move as well. And I think it might not be a huge move. It may not have to be a massive move, but I definitely think that we are going to see an explosive move very soon. And so what we're looking to see is that we're able to hold the support on top of this line here. Okay, we don't need this right now. We're looking to hold support again on our 2-month support line. If we hold support here and we start to clear this high, do expect to see us make a very big rally to the upside. If we do see a massive drop to the downside, remember, we're looking to see $1.91 hold. It will be absolutely important that we are able to hold $1.91 if the big breakout does come to the downside. Personally speaking, I still do believe it is more likely that we will see a move to the upside, but of course I don't have a crystal ball. I cannot predict the future, but I'm going to just give you guys my true honest opinion. And so with that being said, be ready, have your alerts on, have your notifications on. Tune into the last video that we made on ADA Cardano where I gave price predictions and important key support and resistance levels to tell us where the price is gonna go if it breaks one of them, so you know, following this big move that we are anticipating from this indicator, where you can expect the price to go based off of the price movement. And so with that being said, of course, I will be updating you guys tomorrow on more ADA Cardano. So of course, if you are excited about that, do smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you are new, turn on all those notifications so you never miss a video. But with that being said, I will see you all very soon. Peace.